We're going to part 2 here, trying to figure out this video stuff, but picking up where we left off in part 1, the condemnation many people think that is mentioned in Romans chapter 5 is eternal condemnation, when in reality the condemnation there is katakrima in Greek, is servitude to sin. That's the consequence of Adam's choice to sin, is that ultimately it resulted in all of us being in slavery to sin. We see this in Genesis chapter 4 when God tells Cain that sin is crouching at his door and its desire is for him. Its desire is to master. And that's what Paul picks up in Romans chapter 6, that even though we've been freed from the power of sin's mastery, sin remains with the desire to usurp that freedom and victory we have and reign in our lives. It says in Romans 6, I believe, verse 13, "Therefore do not let sin reign in your mortal body, that you should obey its lusts," which implies that sin very much desires to continue to reign, but doesn't have the power over us to do so without us succumbing to it. Well, in summary, it's most important to me that we think about why the Bible teaches us to take sin so seriously. And I would offer to you that it's not because it changes who God is or how he relates to us, even in his loving indignation, his wrath, giving us over to the lusts of our flesh and the desires that we have, that servitude to sin. He remains the same today, yesterday, and forever, and he's the one who says that I will never leave you or forsake you. The reason why the Bible teaches us to take sin so seriously is because of how it affects his kids. It has devastating effects on us. The consequences of sin will vary depending on if you're talking about something legally, if we break a law or we do something wrong in society. God says that he has given the sword to governments to punish evildoers and reward those who do right. So there's consequences that vary significantly in that capacity. There's also consequences that vary significantly relationally. Certain sins will cause greater relational damage and a ripple effect on those whom you love and who are a part of your life. But they also, most importantly, first and foremost, I think, affect us personally. That is physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The reason why God wants us to take sin so seriously is he understands that putting our allegiance on anything or anyone other than him ultimately is going to lead us down a path where we're not going to lead a life that is the best version of ourselves. We're not going to experience a life abundantly as we're created to live and experience in relationship and in fellowship with him. We'll be riddled with shame and guilt and all sorts of a variety of consequences that ultimately affect us in a very negative way and keep us from fulfilling our purpose to be his image bearers and to rule and to subdue the earth. So sin is a very serious topic and something that we need to take seriously because it ultimately is about its effects on us, not how it changes God, but how it changes us. So those are my thoughts for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully we gather again soon. Until next time, talk to you later.